Welcome to the deep dive, where we slice through the noise to find the insights that, well, really matter. Today, we're looking at something pretty ambitious, maybe even a bit provocative. It's this idea of a proven blueprint to become a millionaire in just 12 months.
Right, which sounds like, a huge claim on its own.
Exactly. But here's the twist, the thing that makes this deep dive really different. This blueprint isn't just strategy. It's explicitly infused with biblical wisdom.
Hmm.
We've been digging into excerpts from The Millionaire Blueprint, Biblical Wisdom for Wealth. And our goal today, to pull out the core stuff, the actual steps, the surprising bits, and this unique angle it takes on making money. Okay, let's unpack this.
It really is a fascinating mix, isn't it? Marrying that financial drive with a very clear spiritual purpose. And the material, it lays out a strategy starting from basically zero. It stresses that it's about disciplined execution, not necessarily needing some earth-shattering idea or, ton of cash up front.
Right, execution over inspiration almost.
Right. Sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And the core business motive it presents is, well, pretty unique. Create wealth for God's glory, often explicitly tied to funding things like ministries, community work, kingdom initiatives.
Yeah, it definitely reframes the whole idea of profit.
It does.
And what's great is that it's not just theory. It gives a very specific 10-step process. Let's jump right into the first one. It really sets the tone. Step one is adopt a long-term vision. Now, so much business advice today is about speed, quick wins.
Move fast, break things.
Yeah, exactly. But this blueprint says chasing short-term cash is actually the biggest mistake, that it leads to burnout, results that just evaporate. So why this focus on the long game? How does that redefine success here?
Well, it's fundamental to the whole philosophy. The idea is that real sustainable wealth, especially wealth meant for a higher purpose, isn't built overnight. It's more like farming than sprinting. You plant, you nurture, you understand that the real harvest comes later from that consistent effort compounding over time. The core driver is funding those kingdom initiatives, and that needs resources that last, not just quick cash grabs. So you prioritize things that build over time.
Building something solid, not just chasing trends.
Precisely. Like building an audience.
And I thought the example they used was really powerful. Joseph in Egypt from Genesis 41.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't cash in during the good years. He stored, planned for the famine way down the road.
Yeah, a long-term vision that literally saved nations.
It really drives home that patience and planning are key for lasting impact, resisting that instant gratification.
Exactly. And the practical action for you, the listener following this, is a mindset shift. It's moving from chasing immediate profit to building what it calls an owned platform.
Owned platform? Like what?
Like your own website or building an email list, things you actually control.
Ah, right. Not just relying on social media where algorithms change.
Precisely. This raises an important question. Why is ownership of your platform so crucial in today's digital landscape? Because it's yours. Social media is rented land, algorithms can change, accounts get shut down. Your website, your list, that's your foundation.
That makes total sense. Okay,
Yeah.
so building on that foundation. Step two is choose a passionate niche in a large market. It's got both sides, passion and a big enough market. Why the insistence on passion? Couldn't you just find a profitable niche and, grind it out?
You could try, but the blueprint argues passion is the fuel, especially when results are slow at the start. Without it, you're just running on willpower, and that runs out.
Yeah, I can see that.
From this perspective, it's also about using your God-given talents to serve.
Yeah.
That connection provides a deeper motivation. And obviously, the sizable market piece ensures your passionate efforts can actually scale up and make a real impact, financially and otherwise.
So passion equals resilience almost, keeping you going during those tough early days.
Pretty much.
The kingdom example they use is Bezalel from Exodus. God filled him with skill for the tabernacle.
Right, a niche he was clearly gifted in and passionate about.
Serving God's people, his market, and his passion directly glorified God through the work. It's a great illustration.
It really is. So the action for you is find that niche you care about, fitness, finance, marketing, whatever it is. Then do your homework. Use tools like Google Trends, check search volume, maybe even look at public companies in the space to gauge the market size, make sure it's big enough.
Got it. Niche identified, market confirmed. Then step three, build a professional website. We touched on this, but it really hammers the point. The website as your owned platform, not just social media profiles. Why is that so critical?
Well, the blueprint specifically recommends WordPress, often with Bluehost. And it's not just about ease of use, so that helps.
Okay.
It's fundamentally about control. Like we said, social media platforms, they change the rules, algorithms shift, your reach can disappear overnight.
Right, you're building on someone else's land.
Exactly. An owned WordPress site hosted somewhere like Bluehost. You control the content, the data, how you connect with your audience. It's your digital home base. That direct connection is seen as vital for having consistent reach and therefore consistent potential for kingdom impact.
Makes sense. The analogy used is Nehemiah building the wall in Jerusalem.
Nehemiah 2.
Building that strong foundation to protect the city. It's like your website secures your audience, your message. It's the platform for growth.
It's a good parallel. And the action steps are pretty concrete. Sign up with a host like Bluehost. Do the one-click WordPress install. It's usually pretty simple. Pick a theme that looks professional. And importantly, get a good domain name. Short, memorable, ideally a co.com. WordPress.org has guides if you need help setting it up.
Okay, so the digital foundation is laid. Now you need to put something on it. Step 4, create high-quality, unique content. What does high-quality, unique really mean here? Is it just longer articles? How do you actually stand out?
It's definitely not just about length, though comprehensiveness helps. It's about delivering genuine value. The idea is to build trust, position yourself as a knowledgeable leader, someone who stewards resources wisely, to use their phrase.
Okay.
So unique means offering a perspective, a solution, or depth that competitors maybe aren't. It's about being more current, more thorough. This kind of content naturally attracts visitors, and crucially, it ranks better on Google. That means steady traffic without constantly bidding for ads.
And the kingdom example is Solomon's wisdom in Proverbs.
Yeah, Proverbs 1.
Timeless value, drawing people to truth. Just like great content should educate, endure, and build that loyal audience over time. It's about legacy, not just clicks.
Exactly. So the action. Use tools, maybe like neilpatel.com suggests, to see what topics people in your niche are actually searching for, then do the work. Write articles that aren't just okay, but are demonstrably more comprehensive and current than competitors. Aim to be the best resource on that topic.
Right. Lead the conversation, don't just join it.
Mm.
Okay, so you've got this amazing content. Now, how do people find it? Step 5, optimize for Google rankings, getting found organically. What are the key things the blueprint says you need to do to rank high on Google?
Well, the underlying motive, again, connects back. Maximizing visibility expands your reach, allowing for greater impact, and, yes, revenue for God's work. There are basically 3 pillars here. First, as we just said, that unique and valuable content. Google wants to show the best stuff. That's non-negotiable.
Okay, content is king.
Pillar number 2 is fixing technical SEO. Think of this as the plumbing and wiring of your website. Broken links, slow load times, messy code.
Yeah.
That makes it hard for Google to understand and rank your site. Tools like Ubersuggest have site audit features to find these issues.
Gotcha. Thanks to behind-the-scenes stuff.
Right. And the third pillar is building backlinks. These are essentially links from other websites to yours. When a credible site links to you, it's like a vote of confidence, telling Google your content is trustworthy and authoritative.
Okay, so content, technical health, and getting endorsements. Backlinks. The blueprint links this to Daniel, right? Daniel 6.
Yeah. Daniel's excellence.
His outstanding work made him stand out, gain favor. It's like optimizing your site makes you stand out to Google. Backlinks are like that favor, showing external validation.
It's a neat analogy. So the practical action. Run that site audit, fix the errors Ubersuggest flags. It usually prioritizes them. Then use its backlink reports. See who links to your competitors for certain topics. If your content is genuinely better, reach out and suggest they link to you instead.
Clever. Okay, what if you've covered the main topics? Step 6 talks about filling content gaps. What are those exactly?
This is a strategic move. The motive is addressing unmet needs in your market. Serve people more completely, which naturally opens up more revenue potential too.
Right.
Content gaps are basically keywords or topics your competitors are ranking for, getting traffic from that you aren't covering yet.
So finding holes in their coverage.
Exactly. If they're talking about A, B, and D, but people are also searching for C, and you create the best content about C, you capture that traffic.
Like finding an underserved part of the audience, the kingdom example used is Paul's missionary journeys.
Acts 17, yeah.
How he tailored his message, like in Athens, addressing their specific understanding or lack thereof, filling the gaps in their knowledge.
It mirrors identifying those untapped topics online to reach more people with your value. So, the action step. Use a tool like Ubersuggest's competitor analysis. Find those keywords they rank for, but you don't. Then create better content targeting those keywords.
Yeah.
More comprehensive, more up-to-date. And then, again, do outreach to get backlinks specifically to those new articles.
Okay. Platform built, content created, optimized, gaps filled, now spreading the word. Step 7. Promote content on social media. It's not just blasting links, though, is it? How does the source suggest using social, especially with testing?
Right, the goal isn't just noise, it's amplifying your message to build a community, foster relationships that can lead to sales and, again, kingdom impact. It mentions platforms like X, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. The key strategy it proposes is testing posts on X first.
Why X?
Because it's fast-moving. You can quickly gauge engagement, likes, replies, shares. If a post does well there, it's a good sign it will resonate elsewhere. So you take your winners from X and then repurpose them, maybe expand on them for LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. It's strategic amplification.
Deficient.
Yeah.
Test small, scale what works. The comparison is to Jesus' public ministry, Matthew 4. Sharing his message widely, engaging crowds in towns and synagogues, using the platforms of the day to connect and spread the message.
It's about meeting people where they are. So the action: post content snippets or links on X. See what gets traction. Share the best performers on your other social channels. And use things like Instagram Stories links or the link in your TikTok bio to drive that traffic back to your own platform, your website.
All right, always bringing them back home.
Got it.
Okay, visitors are coming, maybe from Google, maybe from social. Step 8. Capture emails with lead magnets. The blueprint is really strong on this. Why are email subscribers seen as more valuable than social followers? What does this all mean for building that sustainable wealth?
It's huge in this system. It means building a direct line, owning the relationship. Social media reach is rented, remember. Algorithms change. Email, that's a direct path to someone's inbox. It ensures consistent communication, which is key for nurturing leads and generating predictable revenue for those long-term kingdom goals.
Okay, so control and consistency. What's a lead magnet exactly?
It's basically an ethical bribe. You offer something valuable for free, a PDF guide, a checklist, a webinar, a quiz in exchange for their email address.
Got it. Give value to get value.
Exactly. Tools like MailChimp are often recommended to manage the list and send emails.
In the kingdom example is Moses getting the tablets on Sinai, Exodus 24.
Yeah, direct instructions from God to share.
Like email delivering your specific message directly, building that trust and loyalty channel by channel.
It's about that direct, reliable connection. So the action is, create a really good lead magnet, something your target audience actually wants. Then use a tool like MailChimp and integrate it with your WordPress site. Use pop-ups, forms in your sidebar, or specific pages to offer the lead magnet and collect those emails. Turn visitors into leads.
Okay, building that valuable list. Now the crucial part, actually making money. Step 9. Monetize with multiple streams. How does the blueprint suggest turning all this traffic and these leads into income, especially aiming for that $1 million mark?
The core idea is diversification to maximize stewardship. More income streams mean more potential funding for kingdom projects, and offering things at different price points makes it accessible. It highlights two main paths. One is affiliate marketing.
Promoting other people's stuff.
Right. You recommend products or services through networks like, say, Commission Junction or ClickBank, and you earn a commission if someone buys through your link. But it also strongly emphasizes selling your own product services. This could be digital tools, online courses, coaching, consulting, things you create and control.
Okay, multiple income sources. What about that conversion goal?
The blueprint sets a target. Aim to convert 1% of your traffic into paying customers.
Yeah.
And a really key strategy mentioned is creating recurring products, subscriptions, memberships. That provides steady, predictable income.
Right, not just one-off sales.
And it talks about serving both the high-end Ferrari and budget Toyota customers, having offerings at different price points.
Makes sense. Broad appeal. The example is Lydia, seller of purple cloth in Acts 16.
Yeah, she had a high-end product, served wealthier clients.
And used her business success to support Paul's ministry. Shows how diverse offerings can fuel that greater purpose.
Exactly. So the action steps involve joining affiliate networks, strategically placing relevant affiliate links in your content. But more importantly, develop your own products. Start perhaps with a lower-priced item, maybe build up to a premium course or service, and definitely explore recurring revenue models.
Okay, nearly there. The final step. Step 10. Iterate and improve daily. Given the ambitious 12-month goal, why is this daily improvement loop so critical? It sounds intense.
It's about momentum and course correction. The principle is diligent stewardship, constantly refining it to honor God and achieve millionaire status. The source stresses that continuous improvement compounds results. Small tweaks day after day add up massively over a year.
Right, it's not set and forget.
Absolutely not. It's an active, ongoing process of optimizing based on real data. That consistent, focused effort is what makes such a rapid growth target potentially achievable.
The disciplined execution part again. The example is Noah building the ark, Genesis 6.
Meticulous, daily work following instructions.
That persistence and attention to detail, day in, day out, is what got the massive project done. The blueprint connects that directly to building wealth.
It does. So the action here is about data. Analyze your traffic, where is it coming from? Analyze your conversions, what's working. Use Google Analytics. Use Uber Suggest. Do it weekly. Then adjust your strategies based on that data. Double down on what works. Fix or ditch what doesn't. This constant feedback loop is key. It turns the big vision into manageable daily actions.
Wow. Okay, so that's the 10-step blueprint. It really is a fascinating blend, isn't it? Practical, modern business tactics side by side with this deep layer of biblical wisdom and purpose. It all comes back to that disciplined execution and the stated goal of building sustainable wealth, not just for yourself, but to fund these kingdom initiatives. We really hope this deep dive has given you some valuable insights, maybe some actionable ideas you can take away.
And maybe, connecting it all back, it leaves us with a bigger question to ponder. How does this focus, this blueprint's emphasis on wealth for God's glory and stewardship, how does that fundamentally reshape the way we usually think about financial success? Does it maybe change the very nature of ambition itself? Does it define a totally different kind of return on investment for all your effort and time? Something to think about, perhaps, and how you might approach building and using wealth in your own life.
Definitely something to reflect on. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today.